This is a quick introduction to installing the VR Quest software. You'll receive a zip file which you need to extract. Once extracted, you can run the VR Quest 3 installer.exe just by double-clicking the icon. Select the location you would like to install it. For this example, we're installing it directly to our desktop. Select Create a Desktop Shortcut icon so it will appear on your desktop. And then click Install. When the installer finishes, simply click the Finish button. With the software, you will have received a license key, which will be 23 digits long. It looks something like this. And so when you run the software, it will ask you for that key. Simply press Ctrl and V to paste the key and select Confirm. One of the first things you can try is loading in some sample levels. You can do that by selecting the file, then going down to Open and selecting one of the example templates representing one of the levels. So we'll select something like the Edison Lab. And to play the level, you select the rocket icon called Test Level. Here we are inside Edison's lab. So you get a light experiment, you have a video here. And you also have his experiments in phonics. And press Escape to come back to the editor, and you can then repeat the same with the other levels provided inside the MapBank folder. To start a new level, you just go to File again, and then this time select New Flat Level. So now we're going to create a very simple level. So what we're going to do is move around the scene. Now we're doing that by holding the right mouse button and then using the W, A, S and D keys to move left and right and zoom in and out. So it gives ourselves a nice perspective onto the terrain floor. And then you can select from the terrain tools the shape mode with the left mouse button, and then using the left mouse button hold down to raise, and then you can move somewhere else, so you can create hills like so. Then if you go to the mode section and select lower terrain, and then again with the left mouse button you can now lower the terrain. Now let's paint some terrain. So this time we go to paint texture in the control section and just left and hold to paint like so. And then if you want to paint some grass, you go to the paint grass in the control section, hold down the left mouse button and spray down some grass. And when you let go, you actually see the vegetation. If you want to change the vegetation, you can increase the quantity, the height and the width, and that will change the density of the vegetation, and you can also change how it looks as well. And also with the paint you can also change your palette. So let's say we go for a muddy colour, so we can make all of them hills muddy hills. So we want to see what we've created. So what we're going to do is go into the entity area, click the plus button, select markers and select player start. And then you can place down the arrow. This is where we're going to start our level. And to test what we've done, we can create a test level session. So we select the rocket test level. And we start from the start marker. There's our muddy hills. There's our water. And there's our vegetation. From within test game, you've got some other controls. If you hold down tab, so press tab once, then press tab again, you get a series of controls. And from here you can do more. For example, you can increase the water height and flood the world. You can change the sky. You can also change the terrain textures, so we'll go for a different floor. And you can change the weather, so we can go for heavy snow. And even from here you can change the vegetation, so we'll go for grass 7 or say grass 3 and you can instantly change the visuals of the level from within the test game. So that's how you create terrain. Now a terrain doesn't make a level, so we're going to add something more interesting now. We're going to go back to the plus icon, select entities, and then in the filters select characters, and then we'll choose a character. So we will pick Ancient Girl 2 and drop her into the scene. Then we're going to select this here, waypoint editing mode, and to the right of it draw waypoint path. So we select that. Then all you've got to do is hold down the leftmost button and drag out a path. And this is the path the Ancient Girl will follow. We end it around there. And then we want to see what happens. We just press the rocket again. So now we have our Ancient Girl following that path that we've just drawn out within the level we've just created. So let's say we want to do something a bit more interesting than that. So we can select the character, select properties. Just to show you how I did that, you can actually click and hold the leftmost button, and this is what's called a range select. And when you let go, anything that's underneath that range will be highlighted as an entity. So then we can click properties, which opens up the properties for this character. Currently its behavior is follow waypoint, but we can change that to get close and speak. And what does this girl speak? Well, we can choose a WAV file that's been pre-created. We can actually type out some text and she'll speak that text, but I'm going to do the silly voice recording. So I'm going to select the record button and record a speech for her. Hello, I'm an ancient girl. What ho? So once we've finished recording, we can press the rocket again and watch what happens this time. Hello, I'm an ancient girl. What ho? So now you can give your character something to say. And of course, it's always useful in development to save early and save often. So we'll just save this as _test1. Of course, when you've finished adding characters, and obviously you've got other things like objects, so we've got buildings, we have scenery items, all the sorts of things you might want to create in your world. So I'll drop down a building as well, maybe this one in the distance. So when you're happy with your level creation and you've saved it, you can then save what's called a standalone executable. That is a series of files that you can zip up and then share with your friends, so your friends don't need the software, they can just run the finished game. And we do that quite simply by going to File and then Save Standalone. This is the location your standalone will be saved to. Then we just click Save Standalone. And you'll find that in the VR Quest Files My Games folder. So now you've created your level, you might want to play it in VR. Now there's a VR mode button here, but before we press that, it's very important that you first set up the Windows Mixed Reality portal. And that's pretty simple in Windows 10. You just go into the search and type portal and select Windows Mixed Reality. You may have seen this initialize when you first ran the software. So everything is up and running. The only thing here is the headset is not connected. So you've got to make sure the headset is connected, that you're inside the portal, you've tested the controllers, and they all work within the portal. You'll know what I mean by portal once you get familiar with Windows Mixed Reality. Once that is set up, then you can press the VR mode and it will actually give you the VR controls like so. It will initialize with the headset and then you can play your game in Windows Mixed Reality. Hello, I'm an ancient girl. Moving on, you also have something called Social VR. Now what Social VR is it allows you to host any level that you've created or any level that's been provided on a cloud, on a server. And then once you are hosting that game, other people that have VR Quest can discover that game and play it. So if I wanted to say share Sekotan, choose that level, I'm going to start immediately, although I can wait in this lobby for other people to join the lobby and then we all start at the same time. But I'm going to launch my game straight away.
This is my village. This is where I live with my family. When the big ships came across the ocean, they found us, the Sekotan people.
And to leave the menu, you simply select the back button. Similar to VR, which is the VR mode, you also have an ability to play your level on the Oculus Quest headset. So if you go to save to level cloud and then select the level that you want to share, so we're going to select the Sekatan level again, then you can select save to level cloud. When you do this, it literally uploads the level you've created or one of the template levels to the cloud. And if we go back to the menu, you'll notice there's some instructions on what to do. So once you've actually got the standalone VR player installed and running on the Oculus Quest headset, you can use this code here, EJ2LK, which directly relates to the license key for your software. So they are unique to your personal license key. And when you enter that into the player, you'll find the level that you uploaded and you can play it on the Oculus Quest headset. There are some other features of VR Quest, such as the character creator, and the structure editor, and the importer. But the very best way to learn about VR Quest is to try it for yourself. It's available from the VR Quest website right now.